Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Amy Zimmer, and I'm with Marion Soil and Water Conservation District. And today, me and two of my colleagues here are going to be discussing our partner grant that's going to be offered here soon. Specifically, we're going to be discussing what's new for the 2025-2026 application period. We'll provide examples of on-the-ground efforts that have been made with this grant. We'll talk about how this program is unique compared to our other grant offerings and why you should choose this grant compared to others. And we'll get you familiar with the application process prior to the application period opens. So welcome.
Hi, I'm Susan Ortiz. I'm the grants coordinator here at the Conservation District.
Hi, I'm Becky Panetta. I'm an agriculture conservation planner, and I focus mostly on pastures and livestock.
So just in a nutshell, can you guys tell me what is the partner grant?
Yeah, so the partner grant is in its third year of its pilot program. The purpose of this grant is to provide an equitable opportunity for eligible entities, which we consider our partners, to request funds from the district to be used in it to advance the mission of the Marion SWCD, which is to partner with people in support of thriving lands, clean water, and healthy habitat. And then a little bit more about it, the partner grant program includes funding opportunities for projects that incorporate education, outreach, and conservation and planning, also technical assistance, project implementation, as well as a limited amount of funding for partner capacity support too.
So is this a competitive grant then?
It is competitive. We do have about $255,000 budgeted for the 25-26 fiscal year. In each of the past 2 years, we did receive just 10 applications each one of those years, and each one of the applications was funded. We had approximately $100,000 in grants that we funded each of the last 2 years. So this year, we're really working towards allocating all the funds. So we're hoping that we can get some more applicants interested in our grant program.
And so that being said, what are some things that applicants should be aware of for the 2025-26 program specifically compared to the previous 2 years?
Well, first, we shifted our application deadline just a little bit later for this fiscal year to help accommodate our other grant programs. And so we will be opening for applications on September 15th, and we'll be accepting applications for 60 days. So our final application deadline will be November 13th of this year. And then following that, just to give you an idea of how the cycle is going to run, we'll move pretty much right after that into our evaluation period. And that'll go from November 17th to roughly December 15th. And then we anticipate the board being able to award the funds at their January board meeting in 2026. We have a really neat thing that we've added this year. So we are allowing a preview of the grant application. So you can now go to our website, and on our grants page, you can preview the entire grant application for these partner grants, learn more about it, all the links to like the budget sheet and the grants handbook for this program are all available there. So if you're watching this, you can go ahead and take a look at all of it with no, I mean, you're not obligated to even create a login. You can just see all the information for the grant program.
So essentially, you get a whole month prior to the grant even opening that you can see the grant and ask questions ahead of time before it even opens.
One thing I do want to note is the board did update their eligible entities policy just here in the past couple of months. And what they did was every entity that applies has to have its own unique taxpayer ID number or employer identification number. And we're hoping that it works for all the entities that are thinking of applying for this program. If you have any difficulties with that because you're not a nonprofit or a government entity or a tribe, then go ahead and contact me, and maybe we can set you up with another nonprofit that can help be your fiscal sponsor to accommodate that change.
And then do you think that you could tell me, compared to other grant programs that we have here at Marion SWCD, this is just a pilot, one of several grants that we offer. What makes this grant unique?
Yeah. So this grant, we're really trying to focus on leveraging our funds with our partners so that we can bring larger projects to fruition. So it's kind of separate from our other conservation grants, to where there can be larger amounts of funds to get those larger projects done, with combining partnerships with multiple different partners. It requires an application to match the grant award with a 25% in-kind amount, which is less than some of our other grants. And that 25% match can be volunteer time, it can be materials, or even a grant from another entity.
Wow.
Yeah. One of the really innovative things about this program is that that an application for a project, except for the capacity part of this, can incorporate aspects of one or more type. So you can have a project where you're doing outreach to a group of landowners and also providing conservation planning and technical assistance all underneath one grant. So you don't have to separate it out into multiple applications or multiple grants. It can all be encompassed into one. A couple of other things. If you have more than one project, you can submit multiple applications under our education, outreach, conservation planning and technical assistance, and project implementation options. Sorry though, there's only one partner capacity grant per entity though.
Okay, no, that sounds good. I appreciate you clarifying that. Vicki.
And then one other thing, just to add on here, our partner capacity grants are limited to $10,000, while our other grants have a cap of $35,000, which means that the entity could be awarded up to $45,000 in 1 year under 2 different partner grants.
So that being said, with this being the third year of the pilot partner grant program, can you guys tell me a little bit more about what projects have been funded or have been implemented on the ground using this grant and these funds?
We've got a couple of examples of that to show and share some pictures with you. The first one I'll focus on, we're gonna have some before and some current status pictures. This project is actually up at Champoeg State Park, and it's an upland prairie restoration. And they're working in cooperation with the state parks and the local tribes, and they're using volunteers to restore this site, pretty much all using manual labor to try to bring back some really culturally sensitive native species that have been in the area. A lot of them are native foods, first foods that they have in this area. So you can see from the photos that we've got that it's been a labor of love, lots of volunteer time, but it's really coming along nicely. They've got a lot of plans that are getting really well established, and it is open to see for the public. There's a walking trail around it, and it's a really exciting project to be part of.
Wonderful. So people themselves can, after hearing about this, can go see what this grant can do with their own eyes and tangible and feel it and see it and experience it.
Yeah, our staff got to take a tour of the area a few months ago, and it was really cool that the state parks person was there with us, and they were able to tell us stories, like the historical nature of everything, and that was just super cool to be able to see it and hear all of the old stories.
And there's so much history out there. So how cool is that to be able to do something through our grant program to restore and bring that back to the landscape where it traditionally was? That's so exciting.
Another project that has been funded through our partner grant is at the Pringle Creek community in Salem, and they did a few different things. They improved their community garden area by having new raised beds, new irrigation system, I got to take a tour of it before, and I've seen pictures after, and it looks so cool. They've really made a lot of improvements there that are not just helpful for conservation purposes, but also for the community and the people in the community who are able to utilize that garden. And they also included pollinator hedgerows and an access trail or walkway so that people could walk through the area. And it has like conservation friendly permeable material that all of the rain and irrigation water goes through back down to the soil. Um, they have on the educational side of it, they've incorporated a lot of signs throughout the area so that people can see what the conservation measures are that they've been able to do.
Wonderful. And
Yeah.
so it sounds like two really amazing projects, and both of those, just to reiterate, with our partner grant program.
So we've gone over a couple of examples of project-based grants that have been implemented, but I wanted to make sure that we know some examples of how the capacity funds can get used also. So those can be anything from funding staff, mileage, upgrades to a computer server to ensure that statewide invasive species database can continue operations. Also through that capacity grant, um, we were able to assist an organization with the purchase of a new passenger van. And that with that, they were able to limit their transportation barriers for kids throughout the Mid Willamette Valley to let them get out and explore and learn about the natural world.
Wow, that sounds incredible. Like what an amazing opportunity. And so that leads me to, I mean, with such great work happening on the ground, where does a person get started? If somebody's interested in this, how do they begin this process?
So the best way to get started is to go to the district website, and under what we offer, we've got our grant opportunities there, and that'll allow you to preview. Right at the top of that page, there's a preview button that you can look at the grant opportunity and the application questions. Also on that page are links to the videos. There'll be this video, but we've also had videos for this partner grant program for the last 2 years. And they go over the actual application itself, and getting into our grant management platform that we utilize, how to create a login and start in on your application. So that's where you can start. And if you have any questions, reach out to me.
That preview for the grant is going to be available as early as August 15th, 2025. So you've got a month-long period to preview it and get Susan your questions ahead of time. The application period itself will begin on September 15th, and that'll extend through November 13th, 2025. So as Susan pointed out, there's multiple resources, other videos online. So please check those out. Check out the guidebook. And we look forward to working with you and speaking with you guys further on our partner grant. So thank you so much, everyone.